Hey guys. Okay, so a couple months ago I got some books that I tried to tape some hauls for, but that was when I was having my uploading troubles, and so unfortunately they would not upload, but I have some extra time today, so I figured I would refilm those. So, the first, I'm going to do them in two parts. And I have to be kind of quick because I'm not supposed to sit for long periods of time. But the first one is going to be my Penguin English Library editions. I don't know if I've shown you guys some of these before. I know I've shown you guys the North and South one, so I'm going to leave that out, but the rest of these I'm going to go through kind of quickly and just read the synopses. Please someone tell me how do you pronounce that word, because I don't know how to I don't know how to make the word synopsis plural. Okay, I can talk, I promise. There you go. Okay, so the first one is The Old Curiosity Shop by Charles Dickens. This is definitely one of my favorite covers of these, and this is also a particular story that I am very excited about. And it says, dark and dreamlike, the Old Curiosity Shop is filled with unforgettable, grotesque characters. Quilp, a demonic dwarf who eats eggs in their shells and drinks boiling rum, a loving grandfather with a terrible gambling addiction, frail but loving Nell and her wicked brother Frederick, corrupt, abusive lawyer Samson Brass, and good-hearted hero Kit Nubbles. Very unfortunate name, but apparently he's a good guy. Famously one of Dickens' most moving tales, The Old Curiosity Shop is also one of his strangest and most memorable. Yeah, I'm very excited about this. I think this and Tale of Two Cities and Little Dorrit are the three of his that I'm looking most forward to reading. And then we have Middlemarch by George Eliot. Here's what that one looks like. Very pretty. It says, Middlemarch is a moving story of men and women longing to do the right thing, but making bad decisions. Among them is Dorothea Brooke, who wants to improve the world, but finds her idealism crushed by her unhappy marriage to the aged scholar Casaubon, and Dr. Lydgate, whose shallow, spendthrift wife threatens his dreams of medical progress. Described by Virginia Woolf as one of the few English novels written for grown-up people, Middlemarch's panoramic sweep ranges over the whole of human existence: art, faith, science, politics, and love. Yet at its heart are real, flawed people searching for contentment. That sounds really good, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the BBC adaptation because it has Rufus Sewell in it, and I'm eager to see if his character is good or bad, because I've only seen him as like a good character maybe once or twice, and everything else I've seen him in, he's like a complete jerk. So I'm hoping he's a good guy. But yeah, I'm very happy with this edition. I was debating between this or the Penguin Drop Cap edition, but there are several other books that I want in the Penguin Drop Cap edition, and I'm much happier with the paperback since this is so chunky. And I'm a little worried about getting bored, like a little worried that at some points I might find it a little too detailed, but I'm hoping not. And then we have The Pickwick Papers by Charles Dickens, his first book. And it says, The Pickwick Papers, 24-year-old Dickens' joyful, rumbustious debut, made him an overnight sensation. The collected anecdotes from the fictional Pickwick Club, whose members include the poet Snodgrass, the romantic Tupman, Winkle the sportsman, and relentlessly cheerful Pickwick, along with his immensely popular Cockney sidekick Sam Weller, take readers from the comic delights of the cricket club to debtor's jail by way of drunkenness, feasting, and the immortal fat boy. That's very interesting. And honestly, okay, this is a cheesy reason for wanting to read this, but the reason why I want to read this is because in Little Women, Jo and her sisters name their society after this book. They call it the Pickwick Society instead of the Pickwick Club. And yeah, they kind of formed that based on this book. So I thought that that was really cool. Next we have The Tenant of Wildfell Hall by Anne Bronte. This is one of the more gorgeous covers in my opinion. It's quite lovely. And I'm very happy to have this because I really want to read books from all of the Bronte sisters. And actually, to tell you the truth, I'm much more looking forward to this than I am to Wuthering Heights. But it's because I already know that I don't like the story of Wuthering Heights. There's only 2 characters in the entire book that I like, and it's such a depressing story that I'm kind of hesitant to read the book because I'm like, I don't know if her writing can honestly make it better. Like, even if she's the most brilliant writer I've ever read, I don't know if that can make me feel better about this story. So I'm much more looking forward to this one because it seems more promising. I hope. But anyway, it says, this sensational, hard-hitting, and passionate tale of marital cruelty sees a mysterious new tenant at Wildfell Hall, Helen Graham, unmasked not as a wicked woman, as the local gossips would have it, but as the estranged wife of a brutal alcoholic bully, desperate to protect her son. Sorry, I messed that up. Anyway, using her own experiences with her brother Branwell to depict the cruelty and debauchery from which Helen flees, Anne Bronte wrote her masterpiece to reflect the fragile position of women in society and her belief in universal redemption. That sounds awesome. So, yeah. And I do know a little bit of backstory on Anne and on Branwell because I had to do a report on Anne in 12th grade, and I was actually supposed to read this book, but instead I just used Cliff Notes and read the synopsis and stuff. But yeah, now I'm more into classics, so I really want to read this. But I like actually knowing that background between them because it kind of, I think it's going to make me understand this more, or like understand how she pulled life events from her own life to write this. So that'll be fun. Next we have Under the Greenwood Tree by Thomas Hardy. This might be his thinnest novel, I don't know, but I saw the BBC adaptation of this 2 or 3 years ago. It's got Keeley Hawes and, oh, I don't remember the main guy's name, the actor, but I've seen him in a couple other things. But it was lovely and I really enjoyed it, so I'm very excited to read this, especially because of the 3 Thomas Hardy books that I own, this is definitely the most lighthearted and has the best ending, in my opinion. Even though I haven't read it, but I've seen the thing, so I know how it ends. But anyway, it says, a story of love and passion, tinged with melancholy for a disappearing rural world, Under the Greenwood Tree evokes life in the village of Mellstock. When 2 newcomers arrive in the village, they both create a furor? I don't know how to say that word. I know the definition of it, but I don't know how to pronounce it. Anyway, the Reverend Maybold by bringing modern ways to the church choir, and the schoolteacher Fancy Day by sealing the hearts of 3 men. Hardy's gentle pastoral early novel introduced readers to his fictional county of Wessex for the first time. Yeah, so I'm quite excited to read this, and it has, I really like the flutes. I think those are awesome. I don't really like the color on that one, but the flutes are cool. And then we have Lady Audley's Secret by Mary Elizabeth Braden, I don't know. But my reason for wanting to read this one is actually kind of fun. I really enjoy reading the Mortal Instruments and Infernal Devices books, and in Clockwork Angel, which is the first book in the Infernal Devices book, or in the Infernal Devices series, the 2 main characters, Tess and Will, talk about literature a lot, and they talk about literature of the time, because it's set in Victorian England. So they actually discuss this book, and they discuss Tale of Two Cities, and a lot of poetry at that time. And actually knowing in advance is going to make this much more interesting to me. So, yeah. But anyway, it says, in this outlandish, outrageous triumph of scandal fiction, a new Lady Audley arrives at the manor. Young, beautiful, and very mysterious. Why does she behave so strangely? What exactly is the dark secret this seductive outsider carries with her? A huge success in the 19th century, the book revels in an anti-heroine with her good looks and hidden past, who embodied perfectly the concerns of the Victorian age with morality and madness. That just sounds so awesome. Like, it sounds very scandalous and maybe a little bit dark. I don't know. And then we have A Room with a View by E.M. Forster. This is one of my favorite books, as you guys know, and it was just time for a new copy, because I have this kind of older Dover thrift edition that I got maybe in my junior year of college, and it's just, ugh. But I will read the back for you guys. It says, a sunny tale of love and liberation, A Room with a View is the story of Lucy, on holiday in Italy with her conservative cousin, when she meets George Emerson, an unusual young man not of her class. Although drawn to him, on her return home she becomes engaged instead to Cecil, a comically dull gentleman from her own background. Sun-drenched and optimistic, and including many issues which troubled the Edwardian public, radical thinking, women's suffrage, the constrictions of English social rules, this is a brilliantly witty love story. And it really is. It's one of my favorite books, and I would highly recommend it to really anyone. If you want to get into E.M. Forster, if you like love stories, if you just want to get into classics but you don't want to start with one of the really big ones, this is great because it's quite thin. It's one of the best, I think. And next we have Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen. And I'll get straight into this one. And I've already read this one. This is actually one of my favorites, but I just, again, needed a new copy. It says, the most youthful and optimistic of Jane Austen's novels, Northanger Abbey tells the story of naive, charming Catherine Morland, who is obsessed with reading Gothic romance and horror. When Catherine is invited to stay at her new friend's grand house, Northanger Abbey, with its mysterious suite of sealed-off rooms, her melodramatic imagination threatens to run away with her. As comic misunderstandings ensue, she comes to understand the gap between fantasy and reality, false friends, and true feeling. This is a great one. It's probably like my third favorite Austen, and I would highly recommend it for anybody who is looking to get into Gothic literature, or if you want to get into Austen, but some of her other books seem a little bit daunting because of their size. This is great because it's very short. So, yeah, it's awesome. And last but not least, you guys, I promise this is the last one. It is Daniel Deronda by George Eliot. This is now my fourth George Eliot book that I own that I have not read yet. But I'm going to start with Silas Marner because that's the thinnest of the ones that I have, and that way I can get a taste for her writing. So I will get started. Okay, it says, George Eliot's last, most controversial novel, opens as the spoiled Gwendolen Harleth, poised at a roulette table, about to throw away a small fortune, captivates Daniel Deronda. As their lives become intertwined, they are also transformed by suffering, misfortune, revelations, and Daniel's fascination with the Jewish singer Myra. Daniel Deronda shocked Victorian readers with its portrayal of the Jewish experience in British society, and remains a moving and epic portrayal of human passions. I'm really looking forward to this, mostly because I very much want to watch the adaptation that has a really good cast in it, and it just seems like a really good story in general. So, very excited about that. Okay, you guys, I'm sorry that was kind of long. I'm going to cut it off here. And next will be my second haul, which is kind of Penguin Modern Classics and kind of a hodgepodge of other books, so watch out for that, and thank you guys so much for watching this one. Bye.